Hello YouTube, this is Pinchio8 here, and apparently we are doing what I guess is known as my very first 1 to 500th scale review by Herpa, and it is of the official TAP Portugal A330-900neo. I've actually, this is also my first time having this kind of aircraft in my model collection. I know Delta has started to fly the A330-900 as well, ever since they were delivered. Although apparently I've been kind of neglecting to get those because I haven't seen an A330-900 flight by Delta out of Atlanta yet. But let's get that out of here. So we're looking at something very relatively new. Of course, this isn't my very first 1 to 500 scale model, which is a tad bit smaller than 1 to 400 scale. And I do know the company Herpa very well. They definitely do 1/400 scale models as well. And the reason why I've really been wanting to get TAP Portugal planes is for two reasons. One is because they are also parked at T5 at JFK with JetBlue and Aer Lingus and Hawaiian, and very soon, once the pandemic ends, Azul, which is in Brazil. And the second reason I do appreciate having this in my collection is because, well, the truth about my nationality is I'm kind of what they call Portuguese American, which means Portuguese is actually in my blood, but I am an American citizen still. So it's great to have a TAP Portugal plane in my collection. But one thing that's kind of surprising me is that this aircraft looks a little bit like it's nearly scaled up to 1 to 400 scale. But I have definitely been able to put the two scales together briefly before I record this video so we could show you what they look like. But before I do that, let's take a very closer look at this aircraft. So yep, there are your two boarding doors up there. One door boarding for business and first class and the other for economy class. And I'm not sure if TAP Portugal would have anything written on their engines. And those Neo winglets are very neat. And according to what it says symbolically on this aircraft fuselage, first to fly A330neo. Because I did find out they actually were the very first to fly this kind of aircraft. So lucky Portugal for them doing that. And that's what it would usually look like on the tail. Of course, if any of you are able to get these in your possession, you gotta be very careful because these rear wings over here, as well as the tail, are actually really fragile, I could feel. I didn't nearly break it, though. Everything's all in one piece still. The whole plane came in one piece, and this was a very long wait because apparently the eBay seller was from Portugal. We are expected to get another one of these, except it's supposed to say, like, our 100th aircraft or something. I don't know. I'll probably find out very soon. But either way, I'm very surprised that this one is nearly scaled up to 1 to 400th. And I'm not sure if I could probably either use this at my JetBlue airport or not, because it looks nearly the same as 1 to 400th scale. Because truth is, 1 to 500 scale is just meant to be a tad bit more scaled down. Herpa is actually very known for that tiny scale. I remember how much I got comments from my friend Gemini Jet 13, how much he hates 1/500 scale. But the guy's a great guy, though. He would never criticize me on my opinion. I like the small scales either way. 1/400th, 1/500th. It doesn't really matter to me. And the box it comes in is a usual see-through instead, so you don't have to lift up the flap or anything like that. So what do you say as of now I show you the different scales of 1 to 500th and 1 to 400th? So by doing that, here I roll in the Aer Lingus A330-200 by Gemini Jets, because we all know Gemini Jets is very well known with 1/400 scales, so what do you say we bring them nose to nose like that? So as you can see here on the 1 to 400 scale, you'll notice that it's a tad bit chubbier and a lot more bigger, where this one is a tad bit scaled down a little bit. So yeah, this is one way I'm describing 1/500 scale. But for some reason, this model looks a little bit scaled upwards a little bit more. I actually do have 3 JetBlue planes that Herpa made in little 1/500 scale. In fact, I also did hear that they came out with the Blue Rika livery as well as their very own A321neo, but I've decided to refuse to get to the Blue Rika livery because for some reason, well, I have that in 1/400 scale. Now, I may get the A321neo, though, as it is a very good pocket-sized airplane for me to have, so here's an example of how tiny 1/500 scale is meant to be. I may have featured this in my videos before, but take a look at this. Take a look at how small this is next to that. Let me know what you guys think, if you like models that small or not. I usually do like very, very small models. And then here I am rolling in the NG models. A321 that I just received yesterday. See how much bigger that is? So I hope this is definitely giving you a positive image comparing the scales. 1/400th is a little bigger. 1/500th is a little bit, well, scaled down, you could say. A little bit tinier. And of course, I too would never criticize anybody on their opinion, whether they like the tinier scales or the large scales. Believe me, it's not nice to criticize people on their opinion or what scale they prefer the most. It really shouldn't matter. Now, I know my model airport and all is meant to be a 1/400 scale model. I actually have used these before in my past, but never on YouTube. And if you look over here, still in their boxes, I've got a Herpa JetBlue A320 in tartan tail. I don't know if I should use this at my airport or not, as well as the E190, because they are actually both different registration numbers, but the A321 that I pulled out is actually the same registration number that we received with Gemini jets. Registration November 903 Juliet Bravo, caption being bigger, brighter, bluer. However, the A320 over here by Herpa is a different tail number and caption. The registration number it reads is November 508 Juliet Lima, and the caption would say, "May the Force be with Blue." And then this is the registration and tail number on the E190. As you could see, it's a blueberry's tail. Registration November 323 Juliet Bravo, and the caption or name of the aircraft is Only Blue. At first, I remember this was the only small scale I could get of a JetBlue E190. That's why I was kind of in demand for it. But I still think a 1/500 scale JetBlue A321neo would really fit this collection very well. Sorry for the cuckoo clock. So anyway, the real focus was definitely on the TAP Portugal, so I'm very, very glad to have one of these in my possession. And I'm really, really hoping sooner or later any of the 1/400 scale manufacturers, being Herpa, Gemini Jets, NG models, or Panda models, or JC Wings, any of those in 1 to 400 scale, I hope that they can also do a TAP Portugal A330-900 in 1/400 scale, because ever since these got into taking flight, they started to really take over the A330-200 and 300s. Although apparently I am right now, as I speak, watching over a Panda models manufactured TAP Portugal A330-200 or 300. It is up for auctions right now. The bidding for it ends this Thursday, and I am expected to get a big paycheck in my account this week. Normally I get paid every 2 weeks, but apparently I don't know how I'm getting this paycheck. I really much shouldn't mention, because this is really my business, not anybody else's business. So, anyway, I am hoping to get that, because even though Tap Portugal out of airports like JFK and Boston have been more focusingly on the A330, the A330-200 and or 300, they'll still work, because I think they still fly those, but I don't know if they'll still fly them here to the United States or not. And I will tell you, this was a very long wait for me, and the only thing that sucked about waiting for this is usually I'm always given, well, an estimated time when it will be here, but for some reason, the estimated time it would be here was completely unanimous, and I almost can't remember when I placed the order for this plane. I think it was like towards the end of July or the beginning of August, so we're now halfway through, and I'm surprised it took this long to get here, because the country of Portugal is like right across the Atlantic Ocean, and I heard that the flight time to get from Boston to the big city of Lisbon, Portugal, is actually about 5 hours, so I would have done that one day. And then from JFK it's 6 hours, so not too bad, but from here in Florida is where it would be the longest of 8 hours, because first we have to fly over the East United States, and after clearing Boston, take another 4 hours over the Atlantic Ocean, or 5 hours. It would have been extra long at that time. And due to the fact that I did grow up in Massachusetts, I might stay there for a few days before heading to Portugal or the Azores. Because the truth is, Portuguese really is in my blood. And I like everything Portuguese as well as American. I think their cultures are very, very nice. And very, very ancient and everything like that. So, I hope you enjoyed this review nevertheless. And I think I might just try to use this at my JetBlue airport this August. I think it's going to look great. But I still will try and get the Panda models Tap Portugal just to fit in. So maybe for that time being, I'll probably circulate between the two airplanes. It'll be all that simple. So once again, thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys think of this scale, if it's perfect enough for my airport or not. I think I still can use it. I think it's very, very perfect. The two exit doors that I would connect the jetways to are at the appropriate lengths. So once again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Until next time, this is Cameron at Pinchy08, signing in, pinching out. Take care. Well, here's a quick disclaimer that I just came across just when I thought the plane was in one piece with just one tiny little tug. Look what I gotta do. I gotta glue it back again. What a disclaimer. I mean, these are not Skymarks. Skymarks would never produce little airplane models like this. They're always like 1/200th or 1/100th scale. Alright, well, I'm gonna glue this back. Oh great, I think I used a little too much super glue. Look how bad this area looks now. Oh man. Didn't think I waited all this long. Now there's gonna be a white mark over here. Oh dear. Well, let me know what you guys think of this disclaimer. I should have never used this much glue. I only wish I could rewind this all of a sudden and try again with a little less super glue. Well, there it goes to show you what happens if you use too much super glue and how much of a pickle this gets me into.